God, I love my life in all its shades of black, gray, blue, purple, and all the different shades of what. Um, Yesterday I started to have I got some under the eye, sinusy, movement, and I'm working on my words. Movement. I was blessed to have an appointment with an osteopath who really worked in this area. And as soon as he touched this area, I'm like, oh, ow, ow, ow. So something in here moved like this. This was bothering me too. So now this moved. This feels great. This, I'm like, oh boy, definitely going to be adding things to my life to make myself feel better. I'm going to be pulling out the laser. I used it all. I wore the battery out on my scalar wave energy last night, and I'm plugging it in to use it again. I'm plugging it in to use it again. What are we plugging into, and what are we disconnecting from? Right? Are we plugging into wisdom and disconnecting from the things that no longer serve us? I am. How about you?
I'm pivoting. I got that Cancer in well, now it's in Leo, but it's that pivot. That's my native placement, by the way, a pivot. And um I am plugging into questioning what's going on, questioning the bigger why, and realizing it's ultimately a surrender.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it comes down to. It's a big, big surrender. And what's really interesting is the strength and the courage that comes out of surrendering. You know what? What can I do? I can draw a boundary. I don't need to make something be okay. I can follow the passion. I can listen when I'm quiet. I could not sleep last night. I was up till midnight, 12:30. Part of it was Facebook hell, with setting up a new um, personal account.
Well, I
And
know you sent me the message, and I was going to mess with you a little bit more, and I'm like, nah, not so funny anymore. Right? I'm like, yeah, just accept, trust. This is Kitty, because I
yeah,
sent you a skill testing question, and your answer was LOL, and I was going to go back with that's not the answer I was looking for, and then I thought,
yeah.
just accept, right?
Well,
Because
I probably would have said, since we're on a line, I couldn't say the word. I would say duck you, you know,
oh,
and you,
that's Kitty.
yeah, that's you would have gone, yeah, that's Kitty.
Well, and that's the beauty of evolution.
Mhm.
To
Right.
see the evolution of a friend is the most beautiful thing. And it doesn't mean that they're going to stay the same, because when we throw back the things that no longer serve us, not everybody likes the new Kitty. Kitty, I
Well,
liked
and
you better
guess what?
before.
The new kitty doesn't like everybody. The new kitty doesn't need to make it okay what you're doing, and
Yeah.
I have a line in the sand about kindness.
Oh, so do I. Oh, so do I. And when you cross that line, I was talking about that yesterday.
Mhm.
Bambi.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. These movies, these messages that were given. You come into my house, and my house is me, my home, my friends, my familia. On my feet, I have the word familia. You're my familia. I have family first. Those are my blood family. Familia, family first. Ride or die. Get
And
out.
okay, and I'm going to say something. Going to try not to say it as crassly. What I've also come to realize is being born from the same birth canal does not make you my family.
Oh no. Oh no. I completely agree. There are people in my birth family, the cousin, the aunt, and I'm just throwing out names like, please, world, do not attack me again. I got attacked already enough. You got cyber attacked. I got, yeah, attacked. I was on the phone with my cousin yesterday for almost 2 hours. We were sharing wonderful time. I've grown away from people in my biological family. because they've gone their own direction. They're doing their own thing. It's not like I'm never talking to them again. They're busy doing their own thing, and their own thing and my thing now don't match. It's the frick, fuck,
The
it's the
done.
match game.
It's
Fuck,
duck.
fuck. It's the match game. Do you remember that game?
It's a funny ass game.
It was a funny game, and there was a TV show, The
Yep.
Match Game.
It's on again on the Game Show Network.
And I love it. It's simple.
Trying to remember.
I am a peaceful, kind, compassionate human being.
Right.
When I'm not, I call her Helga. What do you call yours?
Kitty Lee.
Kitty Lee. And Helga will open up the door and
But see,
out.
Helga's different than Kitty Lee.
Very much.
Kitty Lee will try to make it be okay. Kitty Lee will and
I used to do that. Not anymore. That imprisoned me in a codependent battered relationship because what my soul journey was. My soul journey and your soul journey are different. Why? We're different. Are we different souls, Kitty?
we are in the same soul family. We're a different piece of that soul. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So
And
what you came here to learn and what I came here to learn are very, very different. I do not resonate well with, oh, things were good in the good old days. Oh, you mean when margarine was the new fad? Margarine.
or sexual abuse and battered,
Oh, we don't talk about those things. That was the good old days.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
Thursday.
as soon as somebody starts in, oh,
Maybe.
don't you remember when people had values? When they hid them, when there was a lot of secrets, when there was a lot of suppression, which I am.
When prostitution is the oldest, what is that? What does that say?
Oldest profession in the world.
The Hulk. And I'm like, excuse me, may I ask you one question?
You're talking about female prostitution, right?
Female prostitution, female, male, human prostitution. Have you been a prostitute? Because when you generalize, I get very frustrated because
Oh,
I've
well,
known
I'm
people that
very frustrated. I'm very.
that were forced into prostitution. I've known prostitutes who chose prostitution because they were increasing their abundance in their life and they enjoyed the interaction. I mean, I've met many different reflections. The question is it a joyful experience? Is it a joyful experience?
Right.
Oh, it's just beer. It's just alcohol. Come on. It can't be that bad for you. It's a little bit of booze. How is that true, Kitty, for you?
Yeah, I'm not a drinker, but yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
When we generalize.
Well, and when we generalize, we are thinking we know why people do things.
We don't know shit.
Right. We don't know. If there's anything I've learned in this year is I don't know why anybody does anything. All I can reflect upon is how am I reacting? How am I activated? And what choice and boundary am I making?
Boundary. I have a sticky note on my computer. It's almost worn out. It's been in my office and that bright. It says, when will I have had enough? And that's situational. It's not like I've had enough. I'm dramatizing and I can't.
And it's okay to dramatize. It's like one thing, and I know that you can write me notes, and I'll just say thank you for your opinion. One thing that I am very, very aware of, and we were actually talking a little bit about that, is white males. And when they tell me things like, "Oh, well, they didn't say," I'm like, from what perspective? The most privileged, entitled group in the whole world. Don't tell me about your spiritual journey until you are a Black female.
Absolutely. And it's the same as because you're in America and you've got a system of things that's happening. I'm in Canada. I've got a system of things that's happening. And when you repress and suppress a group of people. That group of people eventually says, no more,
Right.
no more, whether that is an indigenous group or a group of color. And when I say of color, I mean, we're talking East Indian. That's one shade, right?
Of
Black,
brown. Yeah.
different shade. We're talking a different color of skin. When you suppress people long enough, eventually they say no. A group of
Well,
people.
and I think it's just really interesting when you hear things like, well, they weren't clear. What? That's because you're not listening. You are not listening. Both people are clear. Why are you suppressing? Um, you know, because you're a male, and honestly, you can play tapes like it said in this 3D world and go, "How are you not hearing this? How are you not?"
Some people
Because
aren't. Some people are.
it is hard to be letting go of that you are the most entitled group in the world. It's
Well, it's
hard
hard to
to
let
give
go
that up.
because if you've got headphones on
Yeah.
and you keep on listening to the same message over and over and over again, you begin to learn the lyrics.
I sent you a poem my um, nephew wrote.
I
Who
didn't have a chance to look at it.
could I read it?
Please, please.
Um, who is in a very he identifies as nine binaries, but the earphone is what he is in the most suppressed group at the moment because they're
Hmm.
the most scary, especially for men to hear that you cannot divide us amongst our sexuality. Those people that refuse to identify with the sexuality are the biggest revolutionaries of us all. They're understanding a level of spirit that we don't get.
Well, and because it is so foreign to us, we feel as though our own beliefs are being invaded.
As opposed to an education. They're not saying to us, you have to be non binary.
No.
They're saying, I identify as that. Just like the comment, she isn't saying what her policies are. Very clearly is they're laid out. You know, the other candidate, we try to find out. I got the hate that they're willing. So anyway, this was my nephew. How to sleep after an election.
Oh, wow.
You don't. You can't. You hear the sound of people shuffling outside, wondering if they're here to take your freedom now because they've promised to take it. They don't believe you. Oh, here, you hurry home from the cold, which now is only getting colder. The voices of progress and regress both sing in their ballads. Not even Spotify with your headphones drowns out the sound. Your earbuds only amplify. You pull the sheet to your face like you found the gateway to Narnia, but you must tell yourself you cannot run from this. You must find the next goalpost to make it to.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And there's such truth in that because when you buy into whatever it is you're buying into, okay? And I'll be specific so that many people can understand, not everyone, but many. If I were to tell you that this is the stock I'm buying into, and I've taken all of my life savings out of the bank because I'm going to buy into a stock that's going to make me rich. I'm taking my power and giving it to someone else with the expectation that they are coming to save me.
Right.
Did that before. My knight in one, my, right? And I've done it before when it comes to relationships, my knight in shining armor. I've done it with, oh, now that I've got this job, I'll be okay. The external situations. It's not the external, Kitty, it's the internal.
Right. If your insignificance gives your power to somebody else to solve it, then you need to work on your empowerment.
Absolutely. Because you are the one that's in control of your life and your choices. And either your family, your familia, your soul family is with you, or they need to go and sit on a different set of stands, right? It's like I'm listening to Enya, something calm, peaceful,
I love
so
Anya. Yeah.
beautiful. And if you're listening to something that isn't on my frequency, and I mean, I love all sorts of music. My playlist is dynamic. Today, I need a little bit more Enya and a little bit less Eminem. I love Eminem. I really enjoy that the rap. I really do. Not all rap, right? My frequency, and if you're gonna mess with my frequency and take me away from a centered way so that I can deal with the situations that come my way, because I got situations, I got obstacles, I got challenges, and a little bit today, 1% change every day makes an incredible difference. I don't have to change everything, but I can fine tune my life. Okay, that wait,
Well,
yeah,
and what I'm for me, it has become crystal clear when I say things like, I don't want to be here. I'd rather take myself out than do whatever, that then I need and want and desire to connect into the surrender space to say, you know what? I can't fix this up here. So, what I can do is create a safe place for me and for what I'm doing. And if you are a person choosing anger and hate and money, you do you, boo. I just don't need to be around you. And it's not about I'm an adult. I don't unfriend people because of their political thing. You know what? I do. Because if you are aligning with hate, I don't want to spend the time with you. I want a safe space.
you,
And it's
you,
not
you have
pardon?
that right, Kitty. You're
I,
an
I
adult. You're an adult. You have the right to choose who you allow into your space, your home, your mind, your body, all of that. You have a right. We
right.
all do.
Well, that's a hard part for females sometimes because that's the
Oh,
first argument is over your body.
well,
It's
yeah, I
real.
know. I know. I had a
Real.
conversation with Ralph yesterday trying to explain some of the potential. And he was like, oh, right. Ooh. And I'm like, no, just listen. I have come from a place of, and I reminded him, because Ralph's very understanding. He knows we've been together for 11 years. He understands a lot of how I have transformed, right?
Mhm,
And I said, if you put me back into a cage and try and take away my voice, my ability to make my decisions, I
mhm.
will go right back to that place where I will fight. And I says, I fight differently now. I will still fight. I will not go. Okay, so help me with this because I know you can. Robin Williams,
Mhm.
Captain My Captain. It's that movie where he stood on the desk as a
Poet
teacher,
Dead Poet Society.
Dead Poet Society. I will not go gently into the night.
Oh, that's Dylan Thomas. Rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light. That poem was written for his father who was dying.
Mhm.
He thought his father was giving up. Now, how interesting is that? Perhaps his father was deciding, but that's what it's from. Do not go gently into that good night. Rage, rage, rage against the
And
dying of the light.
and I've said that to people this last month, and some people
But
understand
the
and some
words
people
go
don't.
beyond that
Oh, they go
concept.
beyond that. They go
Yeah.
beyond that. I'm ready to rumble. I'm ready to shake the cage. I'm ready to be bolder, stronger, more clear, deliberate, and articulate. And in doing so, I'm also able to listen to other people and then decide who is on my team and who's not. And it's okay. I don't have room for everybody on my team, nor do you, Kitty.
No, no. And A line in the sand is still a line in the sand. It's not about, oh, I'm a mature adult. I can let you have a different voice. I can let you have a different voice, but that doesn't mean I want to be around that voice.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Absolutely. That's all.
And
You can
if
have it.
kindness is my primary kindness, and in order to be kind, it has to be safe.
Mhm.
Those are to me, that is unconditional love. Is for me to hold the space that you can be who you are without worrying somebody's going to tell you how to be.
Oh, well, most definitely. They're really loud this morning. So there it is. Jello.
Yep.
Jello, right? We ate it for a long time, right? Same with
Mhm.
the pudding. Who was the pudding guy?
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. This is all good. This is wonderful. I'm gonna eat Jello and I'm gonna eat pudding and I'm gonna follow Bill Cosby because he's a fabulous human being. Is that all? Is there
Right?
different reflections of a human
But the
being?
difference is with with Mr. Cosby, he also brought humor. A lot of
Absolutely.
um first of all, we all have different faces. We all fall in love, but we disregard the danger. Share so many secrets, there are some we never tell. Why are you so surprised that you never saw the stranger? Did you ever let the lover see the stranger in yourself?
Absolutely.
Don't, and
Absolutely.
here's the difference, don't be afraid to try again. Everyone goes south every now and then. You've tried it, why can't someone else? Holding that space, you should know by now, you've witnessed it in yourself. And so you can hold that space. And when you say to somebody, here's your mirror, I don't like what I see,
Mhm.
it's not for me to figure out why you're doing it, by the way. I just don't like it.
No, no. And you know,
I don't have to I don't have to tell you what your rules are. You have to tell you what your rules are, and that's the mirror
right,
I'm holding up.
right.
And
And it's beautiful too, Kitty. Like this is such a wonderful time of personal reflection. Put that mirror to you, right? Like I look at myself and my behavior more than I do anybody else's. More than anybody else's
oh
because
yeah,
it's
I got that part
often.
down.
Me too, often
Yeah.
until I shift and I'm like, oh, it's your fault. The person that I was 10 years ago, I'm not that person. I'm not the person I was 15 or 20 years ago. And if you haven't been in my space beyond the virtual, if you haven't come out for coffee with me, if you haven't had an intimate conversation with me, and I mean, I have intimate conversations with people all over the world because that's my life and I love it. If you haven't shared intimacy with me, if into me you see in the last 365 days, the spin around the sun, you don't know me anymore, honey. So if you're going to judge me based on who I was, come for a visit. Let's have a cup of coffee. Right?
Yeah, I right. It you know, I don't know who you are. So let me and this is the end. Definitely the end. If I assess that what you're asking from life is different. And you know what? You can ask for something different in life. But if you're threatening the very people I love because of your discomfort,
Oh,
I'm going
that's
to say, look at that. And if you
yes.
don't want to look at it and you're not aligning the people to protect these other people, then you and I aren't in the same universe. I don't want you in my, I'm real clear now. I don't want you in my life. I'm sorry. There might be some really beautiful things that we connect on, but my number one is
Yeah.
I can connect to you and allow you to be who you are, but you're not going to allow this person to be who they are.
Well,
You're going to legislate, you
time
know.
out. Time out, right? Remember time out? I'm choosing to have a timeout
Yep.
from this group of people or this group of people. I'm very, very, very consciously aware of how my energy shifts. And I've been having more direct conversations with people, like your energy, the way that you are behaving. And let me be specific. I'm being much more specific. This is what you said. This is what you did. These are your actions. I will no longer accept this in my life. So either you listen, communicate, reaction, and we can get on a similar page, because it's never the same page, similar page, or we need some time. We need some time so that we can both get clarity. I don't like anything about her. Be specific. What don't you like?
Right. And is it real? And is it real?
Yeah.
And, you know, the measure of a man, what is that quote? The measure of a man is in the actions, not in
Yes.
the words. And so when you are looking at people and you're looking at what they've done with the years they've been on the planet,
Oh.
and it's not changing, and the hate is still connected, looks just like it did before, and the couple things you've done that looked good, then all of a sudden there was, oh, wait a minute. It's like anytime. One of the things we say in 12-step programs is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yep.
And
yep.
If you never hear a word from each person, I can assess by what you've done, who you are, what you've done with the time you've been, what's it called? When you die, you're born and you die. What have you done with the dashes?
Oh, the dash in between. Absolutely. You know, it's such a beautiful space in between. And I mean, God knows. I mean, I've definitely publicly explained myself quite clear. I've made mistakes. I've made many. I'm a human being. And in being a human, I will own my mistakes. I mean, if you've ever been to a codependency meeting, and I've been there, you will have heard my mistakes in the safe space. And it's a
safe space.
A safe space. Same with you, AA, or I've been to Koanon meetings, which is meetings where people who are affected by those who don't do cocaine go. And within the Koanon, there was, I mean, cocaine and crack, they're similar. So it was like cracking on, whatever you want to call it. And I went there to gain information. I went through the big book. I went through it differently than if I was an alcoholic.
Yeah, I go to Al-Anon, which is dealing with other people's addiction, because as a codependent person, you are addicted, only you don't have the substance.
And until you change your patterns and your beliefs.
Right. And the biggest thing you learn is, I am powerless.
Yes.
My life had become unmanageable. And then I loved number 2, came to believe. First, I have to come to pay attention. Then I have to come to become aware. Something is, wait a minute, there's something here. Then I come to believe a power greater than myself can restore me.
Absolutely. And I remember having a conversation with a lovely lady. Oh my gosh. And the conversation was, because I talk about Gus, I talk about spirit, and we've really we've befriended each other, right? It's on this outer layer. We're working on a relationship. Where does it fit, right? And I'm an atheist. Okay. I understand the word. I'm not sure how that word works within you and the life that you've lived. Can you explain that, right? And we had a beautiful conversation. We spoke to each other. We listened to each other. And we came to an understanding. We're on 2 belief systems, and yet we can still be kind in our conversation. We hugged it out at the end.
Yeah, I think one of the things you learn from a 12-step pro meeting is it is a place to meet anyone, anytime, to hold space.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You, I don't always agree. You take what you like, you leave the rest. There's no expert. It's everybody reflecting upon themselves in a kind way that allows people to be. And that is the reality I wish to create. And so, if I know you are choosing things that are just because of your fear, whatever it is, I wish you beauty to wrestle with that. But it's not a space I wish to hold with you.
It's not. It can't. It's no longer a safe space.
It's no
It's
longer a
like
safe space.
me, because of the years that I struggled with my own drug habits, and that became addictions because I didn't. A little bit of cocaine is not. I mean, that's where I glow when I hear that one. Like, oh, a little cocaine's okay. Which line are you crossing? The one that's going up your nose, or the one where you're making things okay that aren't okay? Because that line of cocaine, that's money well spent. It's moving you forward in the direction of your dreams, right, Sunshine?
Yeah. Creating the life I wish to create.
Yeah.
No.
So, it's there's a lot. And um I've seen the damage that is done to a family. I've seen lives destroyed. I've been at funerals of people that have passed because that line of cocaine contains something else
Mm-hmm.
and they're dead. Drug poisoning is not overdose. It's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the realities. So when you are choosing who is going to lead you, whether it's in a big political arena like in America, or who you're going to follow, what book are you going to open?
Mm-hmm.
What teachings are you going to listen to? What beliefs are you going to follow? Make a
Right.
choice about what direction you want to go in.
And it's okay to take what you like and leave the rest. That's one of the issues I have with the Bible. Not that there's not beautiful wisdom there, but it's not the people that use it as a prescription.
Mm.
But
Or
there's
a
no
weapon, or a
or
weapon,
weapon,
or a weapon,
weaponize it.
because it's my book.
Anytime you weaponize anything, it's a weapon.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I really truly believe one of the things we are you know, in my personal relationship with the spirit is I need you to show me more clearly
Mm.
what this is about. And if it's that I need to surrender to see it, then I shall surrender to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I won't like it. I'll be pissed at you, but it's my personal relationship. And it's okay to be sometimes pissed at my friends and say, this isn't okay with me, and figure out what's mine, what's theirs. Do we have a common ground? And
Oh, right.
ultimately, it has to be love and if you love your fellow man, you create a safe space for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. When you invite people over to Christmas at your home, what's that going to look like? Let's make Christmas all year long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of my favorite songs. It's not a well-established Christmas. Um, is a song by Alan Jackson, and it's called "Let It Be Christmas Everywhere." Let laughter and joy fill the year. He talks about, you know, and one of the things I always find funny is when people say, "Oh, the Christmas season, we should be kind all year long." Well, that would be nice. And I'm so happy we have a moment in time that we stop and celebrate,
Oh, yes.
pay attention to it. So one isn't exclusion of the other. And
No.
the stronger I can practice it, perhaps I can carry it longer.
Yes, carry it longer so you can carry that light, carry that flame. It's like the beautiful, I love The Grinch, the movie. I love that Whoville song, Who do do, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I love I love all of that, And I mean, I look at the challenges of my life for the reality that they are. So right here, one sinus, this side is just buffung, buffung, buffung. Bleh. So I'm going to go and put my laser on it. I'm going to add some essential oils to that area. This side feels great. Last week it was the other way around. So something is shifting and changing, and there's a lot shifting and changing in my life right now. My physical body is a reflection of my inner body. I get that, and I'm working through
Well,
both.
and there's a reason why I couldn't sleep last night. I went to bed at midnight and I woke up a couple times and I finally got up again at 5 because I need to be awake right now.
Mhm.
There's something happening. Well, we're at our a little bit over.
Yep, yeah, because we're keeping it at 30 minutes, and well, we're
We're not.
close.
We're close.
We're close. We're
It's okay.
close.
No rules. You know, next time we meet next week, I will be, will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
No.
Yep.
Wow.
On Monday, I think. See, is the 11th Monday?
Yes.
Okay, on Monday.
I will remember it because it's Remembrance Day. So it's Remember Kitty's birthday.
It is, yes, Remembrance Day, Veterans Day, a day we stop to remember and celebrate those who've gone. I'd love to call it Ancestors Day, those that have
Yeah.
gone and connect to who bring us our freedoms. And so I have a special bond with freedom, in my opinion.
Oh,
And,
for sure you do. And
and
these are the people who often we have the ability to connect with because they are our guides,
uh,
our loved ones who help us from the other side.
and to be free is a level of safety.
Hmm.
I learned very young, I'm only as free to the other next person. And at that next person, I have no right to take anything that they want to be, as they have no right to take anything I want to be. And
Absolutely.
and to make that space is ultimately the unconditional love, and between everything we do is between us and spirit. It's not for the church, the guides, the whatever to, I mean, we have to have laws. I believe we need laws and guidelines. Like it's not okay to take somebody else's life because you're mad at them. Um, you
Mhm.
know, but again, that would be taking their freedom. If I am truly free, I have to guarantee the freedom of other people. And that doesn't mean I get to snort cocaine and drive drunk and kill people. That's not that free.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. Because you're taking away
I
someone
am
else's
as free up to the next
security,
person.
right? Yeah. We
Yeah.
need stop signs, we need yield signs, and we need green lights.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's
Structure. Structure.
the structure, and we're in these last degrees of Capricorn where we are building new structures, new capabilities, and we are questioning what is the vision we wish to be. And so that's, super important. Anyway, next Wednesday we'll be back with Wednesday wisdom.
Yes, next Wednesday we'll be back with Wednesday wisdom. We won't need to throw back as much,
Thursday.
perhaps.
Perhaps. We shall see what
Thanks,
evolves.
my friend.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, thank you all for showing up. It is such a joy each and every time we have the opportunity to share. See you next week.
Namaste.
Namaste.